What's up, y'all? Another exclusive interview. My name is Bezo803, all that social media. And we got a legendary person in the building today, business owner, a figure in the community. Tell the people what your name is, man.
Jerome Robinson.
Jerome Robinson is in the building, man. Clap it up. Appreciate you for being here, my brother.
Thanks for having me, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Team Robinson, man. Talk about, where you're from and, your upbringing, all that good stuff.
Gotcha. Born and raised here in Sumter, South Carolina. As far as upbringing, fortunately for me, I attended public school, so I call that the school of hard knocks, especially in Sumter, because we know what it's like to to be in Sumter, and nothing against private school, but I like the public school because it taught us, the real things you had to deal with, things that gonna make you better. So attended Wilson Hall, Alice Drive Elementary, Alice Drive Middle, through Sumter High. Graduated in '99.
Okay.
When my parents, I think my dad was first when he was in the military. We lived over there in Cherryville Trailer Park, and then we moved over to Morgan Avenue.
Cherryville, what's up?
From Cherryville, Morgan Avenue, came home one night. Coming home from church one night, my dad stopped about a block up the road from the house. He noticed that the lights in the house were on, the front door was wide open. Mm-hmm. Somebody got us.
Wow.
Yeah, they broke in the house. They even went through our piggy banks.
Welcome to the
TVs,
neighborhood.
Everything. So shortly after that, we didn't stay over there long. Shortly after that, we moved over to the Alice Drive area. And not to say that side of town was immune from break-ins, because stuff like that happens everywhere. But we bonded with some other guys in the neighborhood, had a good time. So definitely to the core, Sumter, South Carolina, man. Born and raised.
Okay, man. Big shout out to everybody that's born and raised in Sumter, South Carolina, man.
Yes, sir.
Me personally, I'm just speaking on my experience of first seeing you around. You was doing security, CWP, that kind of thing. Yep. And I mean, I may be wrong, but that's what I first seen you doing. So let's talk about CWP, how you got introduced to it, why it's important, and how long you been doing it.
Yes, sir. So with the concealed weapons permit training class, I first got into it because my natural instinct when it comes to people being able to protect themselves, I would say, is definitely higher than most. Because a lot of times people will take, I would say, an emergency situation, they'll be ready to call 911 or count on someone else for their own security and safety. And I'm a firm believer that we have to be able to protect ourselves because just from the reports and things I was reading, I fully support law enforcement. I would definitely call them in this case of emergency, but a lot of times they get there when it's too late.
Gotcha.
So I was definitely interested in firearms and wanted to have a concealed weapon for myself. After a few years of carrying, I saw how important it was to have it and need it. So I just decided to get certified and start teaching others. Okay.
So I know you got a zillion things going on. So do you still teach CWP classes?
I'm certified to teach the CWP classes, but my schedule's so crazy with the gym and security and everything, I just don't have the time. The only time I really do a CWP class now, if I did a private training class for somebody, but as far as putting it on the books like I used to, like every once a month, I don't do that anymore.
Okay, cool. Great, man. So definitely want to protect yourself and know how to, operate a firearm properly. So that's very important. So security, that's one of the, things I've seen you doing as a career when I start seeing you around and knowing who you were. So how long you got in security? What made you get into security? And how was the journey? Because I know you did some clubs and you did all type of stuff.
We've been there, man. In the very beginning, going back now, when it came to security, it was crazy for me because I sat there. Anytime I get into a business, especially as a business owner, we're there to make money.
Right.
So your goal is to make as much money as possible, least amount of liability and risk. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to convince myself. I was so interested in security and the Secret Service and bodyguards and bouncers. I said, I'm going to study this, and I'm going to find a way because it looks really dangerous to talk myself out of it. So after about a year of research, I told myself, this is crazy. You could get shot, stabbed, punched, whatever the case is. This is not something I want to do. But the more and more I kept researching it, the more I would order. I'd order a vest. I'd order a belt. I kept ordering stuff. So then I took it as a sign from God, even though it's, it can be scary and nerve-wracking and it has its risk. I fell in love with it. We started out doing security, I would say, at nightclubs. We worked every club in Sumter. We did Columbia. I mean, I mean, talking about the beginning days, we were literally doing armed security for $8 an hour, $9 an hour. Driving all the way to Columbia to make $9 an hour. So years and years, of course, I don't make that now doing it, but starting out, it was just the grind from the bottom. And I had a team of about maybe 5 guys. We grew to about 15, 20 guys, and we just had fun with it, man. It was challenging, and it came with its risk, but we had fun with it. So I'm to a point now where I do a lot of management work. If someone calls and needs some security, I'll kind of coordinate the schedule. If I can't be there, make sure my guys are there.
Yeah. Man, one thing I noticed about you guys, man, when I pay attention to a lot of stuff, especially if I'm in a dwelling, I try to, which way, if something pop off, which way I could get out, or what's the security looking like. You guys are, to me, seem real professional and uniformed and militant.
Yep.
Why is that? And not knocking anybody else that does it, because I've seen like some crazy stuff. So, what made you really put a focus on that and the way you organize and place people when you do events?
The biggest thing, I guess, for me, it goes back to me first getting into CWP and getting into security is just my natural. God has blessed me with a natural state of situational awareness.
Gotcha.
So, going out to eat in a restaurant, you don't want to have your back face to the door. I like to know the entry points, the exit points. So my brain is always working when it comes to what's safe for me. So then I fell in love with making sure others are safe, because when I was going to the club, when I was going out there drinking, when thinking about security, there were certain bouncers that would be in the club, Stunner, Big Mike, all them guys.
Big Shout, legendary bouncers.
And when I saw them at the club, I felt better. Like, okay, something go down. I know these guys gonna handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Them guys like pick people up like small fries.
Rockabye.
That's another. Hey,
yeah, monsters,
man,
right?
When I used to go out heavy before I was DJing and stuff,
and
just going out, it was certain bouncers I would see. Cause I'd be in there doing my thing. I'm like, hey, I'm in here now.
Yeah.
I ain't starting no trouble if I get a little.
Exactly.
Because sometimes it seemed like they didn't even used to look. You start doing too much.
Exactly.
You out of here.
Yeah. So I would definitely. I mean, if I saw guys that were familiar, I'm like, okay, I know I'm good tonight. Cause these guys,
Yeah.
But I wanted to give other people that same sense of security when they come to the club. And going back to being 21 in the club, dancing and drinking, I'm like, I don't know how a bouncer can just stand there all night and not want to party.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it in my mind. I'm like, bruh, it's too much going on here not to have a good time. But then as I got older, I realized, okay, once I got it all out my system, I can stand there and be on guard and security, but I had to get it out my system. So it took a while.
See, that's a difference. Like when I see you guys, it's total, the behaviors, how you guys move.
Yeah.
As a DJ, I've seen it all. Like I've seen bouncers in there drinking. Like, something pop off, you ain't gonna be able to really do what you're supposed to do. So I appreciate you and everything you're doing for the events, people that's having events, clubs, nightlife, all that good stuff, man. Been seeing you guys for years. So we're gonna move on. 20 years corporate America. Can you kind of go talk about that, your experience there, and what you was doing?
So my first job, I was 16, and I started at Food Line right there on Ginyard, right across from Central Carolina.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
they hired me as a bagger. And I was so happy. I went outside to tell my mom, and I was in the parking lot doing the butterfly, man. I was excited. I was excited because I've always been like a hustler. I was a kid in school that would sell candy.
Right.
In class, I draw pictures, sell them for $0.25 when I get to class. Just anything I could do to hustle and make. I would go to Palmetto Park. My parents would drop me off, go out there with a bag, put aluminum cans in there, go to the recycling center, get $5. So I was always wanting to hustle, but I told myself once I got old enough to actually get a job, it was going to be on and popping. And sure enough, started at Food Line when I was 16, worked my way up, went from bagger to stocker to produce clerk, night manager, grocery manager, assistant manager, worked my way up to store manager. Did that for about 13 years. After I left Food Line, I went and worked for myself. I did security. That's when you used to see me out a lot. I was doing security, CWP class, personal training, and I just was doing some martial arts training.
Right.
And then I got into, then I started working for the city. I did zoning enforcement for the city for about another 7 years. So I would take all what I learned when it came to being in corporate America, Food Line, how to run a business, how to manage people, how to control payroll, how to make sure the bills were getting paid, making sure you have profit, maximizing your profit, minimizing your shrink.
Right.
Then when I started working for the city, I learned rules and regulations, what you can and can't do when it comes to banners, when it comes to opening a business. Some zoning standards are different than others. So I combined all those what I learned on the job with my business now. So it definitely gives me a edge up on what I'm doing now.
That kind of brings me to what I was going to ask you. Like, what was your transition from corporate America to entrepreneur full time? Was it rough? Did you face a lot of roadblocks? Even though you just said you saw working in corporate America afforded you insight and a little edge on others, but anything you faced that you could talk about?
I would say the biggest thing for me, I look back on my schedule now. I don't know how I did it. I guess because I was younger and I had more energy then. But I literally would work 9 to 5, get off at 5, be to the gym by 5:30, teach class till 9 p.m., get out of there, go back to work, and on the weekends do security. I did that for like 7 years. I didn't watch TV or nothing, just grinding. Wow. So to me, it seemed normal. I knew it wasn't normal, but it seemed normal because I enjoyed my job at the city at the time. I enjoyed teaching martial arts. I enjoyed doing security. So I did it as long as my body would allow it. One day I was sitting at work, and I was adding up. I said, how much money would I need to make per day to not have to be here? Once I came up with that number, and I wrote it down, and I was thinking about it, thought about it a couple of days, and I know normally when you go to your boss and you ask for you put in your 2 weeks notice.
Right.
I had in my mind, I was like, I'm out today. I can't do no more. So when I walked down to his office, I said, George, I need to talk to you for a minute. He said, what you got going on? I said, man, George, I'm out, man.
Wow.
He said, what you mean you out? I was like, man, I can't do this more. I'm exhausted. I mean, I'm literally burning the candle at both ends, But he said, how long can you give me? I didn't do a 2 weeks notice. I did a week notice. Right. And I was able to get out of there. And I told myself, I'm going to work as hard as I have to so I never have to work for somebody else again. So.
And that's brave, man. Entrepreneurship is not for everyone, but I love the fact that when you made up your mind you was going to do it, you just did it. And it's taking off for you, obviously. But so big shout out to everybody who is in entrepreneurship, man. Make sure you pay attention and listen to what this gentleman is saying right now, man. He decided, hey, I'm going to do this. I got a great job in corporate America. I'm out of here, man. So we do applaud you for that. Moving on, we're going to talk about Team Robinson MMA. Man, legendary in the city. I remember you was over there on Pike Road. Yep. So with everything leading up to that, what made you say, hey, I'm going to get a location now? Mm-hmm. And how was it starting up that first location, which is definitely smaller than where you're at now? Mm-hmm. So take us through that journey.
Gotcha. So my first location is actually in my garage. That's where it started. I know a lot of businesses. Yeah, man, we going all the way back.
All the way back.
I know a lot of businesses started in the garage, and at the time, I don't know if you remember Roy Matthews or not.
Yeah, R.I.P.
Yeah, rest in peace, Roy. But Roy, he came in Food Line one day. Me and my brother were working at Food Line, and he invited us out to the Sumter Optimus boxing gym. Mm. We went out there. I was always interested in martial arts, even though I never had any formal learning. It was me and my friends outside punching and kicking each other, what we saw on TV.
Yeah.
You watch a Karate or Ninja Turtles, and then you trained a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But so he invited us to the boxing gym. My brother and I went out there. My brother fell in love with it. He went on to be 5-time Golden Gloves champs. Went out for the Olympic team. Fought pro, had 20 fights. Oh yeah. But my first day of training, I enjoyed it, punching the bag, but I'm like, man, I want to kick, punch, elbows, and all that. And that boxing coach at the time, not Roy, but the other guy, you better not kick that bag or hit with the elbow. He'll flip. No, he wasn't having that. He was pure boxing, which was understandable.
Right.
So one of the guys was training there, Corey Ellison. Me and Corey started training together in martial arts, and then from there, since my brother got into the boxing heavy, I got into the martial arts.
Okay.
We were already working out at the house, but we actually turned our garage into a gym. So we put down the floor, the weights, the heavy bag, and my mom said, y'all should be Team Robinson. And so we were Team Robinson at that point. Maybe a few years went by. My brother moved to Charlotte to pursue his boxing career. I stayed in Sumter, and I named it, I kept the name Team Robinson MMA, and I added fitness onto the end because we started doing a lot more fitness classes and stuff like that. So I went from the garage to Master Titus, rest in peace. He passed away several years ago, but I trained with him for years, and his facility where I trained at, it was maybe 4 or 5 times bigger than my garage. So I went from my garage to his facility. From his facility, I had a friend of mine, one of my clients I was training, Jason Ross. He has a construction company here in town. Okay. He was about to open up Sumter CrossFit, and he said, hey, man, I'll let you come in.
I remember that.
I'll let you come. Yeah. We was on the old Sycamore on Broad Street. He said, you can come in and have a corner section to teach your martial arts, and we could do the CrossFit. I'm like, cool. So I partnered up with him. In 6 months, I pretty much outgrew the space. I mean, we literally had little kids I was training 2 feet away from some guys deadlifting 300 pounds. It wasn't a safe environment. Right. So from there, I went to Pike Road. Got a 1,200 square foot unit, and I was there for about maybe 5 or 6 years. And fortunately, I would say I was definitely blessed. We kept growing every year. So every year we kept getting the next building beside it and kept getting the next building. So we ended up with like 4,800 square feet by the time I left to go to where I'm at now, which is on Liberty Street, 337 West Liberty Street, the old Jack shoe store for those that live in Sumter.
I know y'all know. I know you old Jack's, fans out there. I used to go to Jack's to pick out my joints.
Yes, sir.
Back in the day, man. So, man, that's great, man. It's to know you started where you was at, in the garage, worked your way up to a corner space in somebody else's business, all the way to Pike Road, which I remember coming by there, dropping off flash drives, and you said, "Man, come on in here." As you see, I did. But
we still waiting on you. We still waiting on you, brother.
I'm coming, man. I'm coming. Man. I got to get my life together.
We need some more heavyweights.
I got 2 sons, so I'm trying to live. So I got to do something. So we're gonna talk about that off the record. But we definitely applaud you for that, man. 20 years martial arts training. Can you talk about how important that is? Even if you're not trying to compete. If you just want to learn for protection or exercise, can you kind of talk about the history of it and kind of give a
definitely
audience a rundown of that?
So going back to the other things that I've done that actually they all combined and coming together from the CWP, security and martial arts. They all go hand in hand because it's about safety, security, and protection. When it comes to our martial arts training, we're definitely if somebody would have told me 20 years ago that you'll have the biggest, most recognized martial arts gym in Sumter, I say that humbly. If somebody would have told me that years ago, I'm like, man, I probably thought I'd still be in the garage with my 2 or 3 people because that wasn't the plan. But it's just that I fell in love with it. It was a snowball effect, and it kept growing and growing. And we took the martial arts. I take my martial arts training serious to the point where just because I think I can get the best of somebody and he might have a little attitude or be disgruntled, I shouldn't just dive on them and try to lump them up just because I've been training. And I preach the same thing to my clients as well because, especially in the age that we're in, people ain't trying to take an L.
Right.
They're not trying to get embarrassed, and they definitely ain't trying to get embarrassed in front of their mom and their girl.
And the camera.
And the camera.
No cameras out.
Somebody's gonna have that camera out. So when it comes to the martial arts training, I can say definitely the biggest thing that has been able to help me and help my clients is the confidence. And a lot of times, like when kids are coming in getting bullied, they lack confidence. They can't make eye contact with you. It's hard for them to shake your hand, and look at you because they're just so used to, they're timid and scared of what's out there. So being able to instill that confidence in people and know in the event, like I tell my students all the time, somebody backs you into a corner, jacks you up, puts you in the bathroom stall or whatever the case is, you have no other means to get out. You can't tell the principal, teacher, or the pastor because they're not there. You have to defend yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to let it get to that situation. But if it does get that situation, the last thing you want to do is just ball up in the corner and cry. You have to come out of there and fight and then deal with whatever consequences comes with it because you don't want to end up in the hospital behind somebody trying to bully you or beat you up.
Definitely, and I want to touch on that as well because I see you got a lot of children as clients, man. Yep. How important it is for children to participate in mixed martial arts or exercise or just things that's going to build their confidence up. To prevent bullying or protect themselves from bullying because you already kind of touched on it, but that was kind of where I was going next. Yep. So can you kind of speak on that? And is bullying a problem that you see here in Sumter? A lot of your clients that's coming in.
Definitely. I have a lot of parents and grandparents when they call. I always hear the same thing. They're tired of the kids sitting home playing video games. They're not active enough. They're just eating junk food, sitting in front of their tablet or the video game. A lot of they don't even know what MMA is. They just know they heard the class is good. They want to get them out the house.
Right.
But when we bring them in and we teach them, we train our children. One of the reasons why we've been so successful, I train my men, women, kids, all the same. They all learn the same punches,
okay.
Same kicks, same takedowns, same submissions. Of course, sometimes you have to modify things because now you have a child who might be 2 feet tall versus a guy who's 6 foot tall. Yeah. You have to modify things to make them work, but we teach them all the exact same things. Okay. And then that confidence that it builds up for them, I've seen them do better in school. I've seen kids who have behavioral issues. They're in class acting out, throwing things.
Yeah.
They need an outlet to get that energy out. So it's not necessarily they're bad or necessarily have a condition. They just need an outlet to get that out. And so for me to be able to do that and the parents come back and say, my child was making C's and D's, now they're making A's and B's. They were getting written up 3 times a month. Now it's every other month. So to see that progress, and I've actually have some students who started with me 3 or 4. They're like 10 and 12 now. So to see them grow from a little kid to a teenager and soon to be an adult, it's amazing, you know.
Man, I must say I appreciate what you're doing, because I noticed that you get a lot of children clients. So I appreciate what you're doing, man. Because a lot of children, they aren't necessarily bad. Like you say, they just need something to channel that energy, something to focus on, something to build their confidence up. So I definitely want to champion you all and appreciate you all for doing that for the community.
Yes, sir.
Let's at the end of the day, you got the biggest MMA space company around these parts. It just is what it is. We can't run from that. So how does it feel, and what did it take? I know you said you couldn't see yourself here, but looking back, what did it take to get where you're at now, and just how does it feel, man?
It feels good. I mean, it feels good. It's I've never been one of those guys that brag or boast about any of my accomplishments. So I guess that's what keeps me hungry and keeps me, working hard. So I would say I'd say once every 2 weeks, I might walk into the gym when I'm there by myself, kind of cut all the lights on, just kind of stand there and look around like, man. When I walked in here, this thing it used to be a shoe store. So there was like 200 shoe racks, dust an inch thick. It's a nice building. It was just dirty because they were gone for a year and a half. So of course, things start looking bad after a while, but I could vision and picture, I want my boxing ring here, I want my bags here, I'm going to put the cage here. And in my mind, I could visualize where I wanted to put everything at. And then when I walked through the building and I saw the office in the back and I saw the back door to come into the office, and I thought about where I was at and where it is, I'm like, man, this is awesome. So now when I get to work now, every day I wake up and I still work 7 days a week. Of course, I could take some days off, but there's something in me I just can't. Even if it's only 2 hours, I'm doing something for the business.
Right.
But just to sit back, and I think the biggest thing for me is to sit back and look what all I've accomplished and see the clients come in and see the satisfaction on their face. It feels good, but at the same time, still hungry. People ask me all the time, are you going to franchise or get multiple locations? I can't picture having multiple locations, but then again, in my garage, I couldn't picture where I'm at now. So, I mean, it could come, but I would definitely need more help for that,
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea, man. Yep. But, only you know what's best for the business. And like you said, when you came in, you was visualizing everything, and then it came true through the hard work. Yep. So that's beautiful, man. Anybody that's watching, you got a dream. You got to start where you are, from the garage all the way to a corner spot in somebody else's business, to a smaller location, to one of the biggest locations in our city and surrounding areas. Walked in, old shoe store, Jack's, dust an inch thick, and just visualize where he wanted everything. So that's very important, man. We do this for small businesses, entrepreneurs, our people, the culture, anybody that's inspiring to do something, man. This brother's a great example of just having a dream and making it happen. So definitely applaud you for that. But we're gonna talk about some of them accolades. ESPN, talk about it.
Oh yeah,
talk
man.
About it, man.
That was crazy. We at the time I was still on Pike, and Rodney Richburg, friend of mine, he does life insurance here in Sumter. He had at the time he was managing a fighter, Jeremy Bryan, and I knew Jeremy from years ago because he used to train with my brother at the Optimist. So Jeremy was training with Roy. He just came off a law. I'm not sure what network or where he fought at, but it was a pretty big fight. He came off a knockout in that particular fight. And his manager decided to switch up some things, took Jeremy to go train with a couple people, came to the gym. We did a session of mid work, weight training and stuff like that. And, Jeremy told Rodney at the time, I've been knowing Jerome for years. I want to train with him. So I would say maybe 6 to 8 months. We were just training hard. My partner, Desmond Smalls, me and Desmond doing it since the garage days. So Desmond, a lot of people don't know because Desmond's quiet, but Desmond's a beast. Desmond doing this thing a long time. So
big shout out Desmond, man. That's my guy, man.
So I was training Jeremy with the boxing, technical aspects of the boxing, mid work. Desmond was training him on the strength and conditioning. We got the phone call to fly out to New York. At the time I was working for the city, and it was an ice storm. So when Rodney called me, he said, Jerome, if we don't get to the airport in such and such time, we're going to get trapped. We're not going to be able to make the fight. And, it was a big fight because it was on ESPN. So fortunately, I called my boss. He understood. He let me off. Let me get out early. Ran home, packed, hit to the airport, flew to New York. Up there, it was crazy because prior to being on ESPN, I've only cornered a couple of fights actually been in the quarter getting water, instruction, stuff like that. And that was on a local Columbia show, something in Columbia, not televised for the whole world to see. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
What was wild was we were at the hotel, very nice hotel. They treated us. They were doing interviews, press, food, buffet. Everything was great. The whole day. And then my team at the gym and the clients from the gym, they were going to go to Applebee's and watch the fight.
Yeah.
So the whole day I'm thinking, the camera from ESPN's gonna be right here. What if I say the wrong thing? What if he gets knocked out? So as I'm at the hotel trying to visualize, and we're still training, I don't want to tell him how nervous I am.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm thinking of everything that can go wrong, like live TV fighting. What about? And I'm the coach and everything. But long story short, as soon as we walked in the venue, it was crazy. Like a sense of peace and calm came over me. As soon as we walked into the venue, I was just like, and they had the music playing. I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
It's like it's another. I felt like I was walking to my gym. Like it's another day at the office.
Oh yeah. Man.
I wasn't nervous at all. Everything because some people think they're not gonna tell you they're nervous. Yeah. Everybody want to be tough and hard nowadays. Oh, I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. No, I was ready. This is what I do. No, I was terrified. I was nervous.
Right.
But as soon as I walked into the venue, man, a sense of calm came over me. I said, it's time to go to work.
Yeah.
Let's go. So me and Jeremy went back, did our little mid-work routine, stretched him out and everything. I was wrapping his hands. So the New York Athletic Commission, they stand there and watch you wrap hands to make sure you're not doing anything illegal.
Right.
That's going to give your fighter an edge up or hurt the other fighter. So got his hands wrapped, and then the lady from ESPN comes in and said, we're going to go ahead and mic you up. So I'm like, okay, it's on now. You got that microphone on, so whatever I say, people at home are going to hear because it's live. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So again, long story short, we went in, we fought. It went the distance. I think it was a 10-round fight. It went the distance. We won unanimous decision. We beat the guy in his home, in his backyard. That guy was Yusef Kinda. The fight's still on YouTube. So his opponent was Yusef Kinda, African, but he was fighting out of Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
He was undefeated at the time. I think at the time Germany was maybe lost 2 or 3 fights, but we won that fight. Unanimous decision. We celebrated, went out, partied and everything. Flew home first class. It was a blast, man. We had a good time.
Hey, man, it sounded like a great experience, man.
Sir.
So, man, there's so many great things you have accomplished, over your career. Voted #1 4 years in a row.
Yep.
In any industry, any business, what does it take for not necessary to be recognized, just to run a great business, good customer service, adding value to the community, where somebody could say, hey, the community kind of spoke and say, #1, that's who you go to for MMA, for boxing, for training, for CWP, all the things that you do. How does that feel, and what does it take, for anybody who's watching, like, to be, maybe considered to be #1? Not you, but I'm saying, if I'm running a business, how can I get to a place where the community sees me as, social proof, a good business, a viable business, a valuable business?
I would say a lot of times for me, it came natural. Even as a kid, my parents used to laugh at me, man. I would take a piece of paper out, get a pen or pencil, and I would write down. And back then, as a kid, you really don't have nothing to do other than watch. I would write down, watch Fresh Prince, fold the clothes, go break the. Yeah. Like, why as a kid am I making a list of things I need to do?
Right.
Just be a kid and do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But something told me to do it, and as I got older, I never stopped doing it. So now my lists, of course, are a lot more important. But having a list keeps me organized and productive, because if you just go out in life and just start running errands and so you get caught up in a conversation and doing stuff and you don't have a foundation or something to refer back to, this is what I need to get done today or by the end of the week or by the end of the month, you're going to be behind. And I hate procrastinating. I always like to get things done as much as possible, as quick as possible, so I can move on to the next task. So for me, it's pretty much staying organized by writing a list. Making sure I have good people that I can trust in key places. So over the years, I've had a lot of people come through to help and be on my staff and be a coach. Some people I had to get rid of. Other people been rocking with me 10, 20 years. So having that, because I know I can't do this all by myself. My wife helps me out a lot. She does a lot of behind the scenes stuff that people don't see. So my support system is great. But at the same time, and you know how it is running a business.
Oh, yeah.
When people see me at the gym, they probably think, okay, he comes here at 5, class starts at 5:30. He teach a class, mop, sweep, go home, and then does it again. They don't see 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, ordering stuff, writing down plans. Some months are tighter than others. What am I going to do to make sure I can what can I do to make sure that I stay in business and can afford to pay these bills. So it's always thinking ahead, not stressing yourself out, but thinking ahead and planning. And then, of course, when the recognition comes, accepting it and being grateful,
Gotcha. Yeah, man. So, man, that's great, man. Good advice for the people. So, as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, running a successful company, we want to just kind of give people some insight. What does it take to be a leader? You said you had a great staff. You had to switch out some people, get rid of some people. What are some tips? What is some advice, to give even myself and others to be a leader, to build a team?
For me, it's about communication, because I have worked with some. Through my years in I would say I keep going back to corporate America, but 20 years of corporate America, I worked for some guys who is very unprofessional, but I still want to do it. I want to take them out the parking lot and we can scrap and find out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find out if you should be able to talk to me the way you're talking to me.
Right.
Because I don't like your tone. I don't like your way of addressing it. You have some people that talk to you. You have some people that talk at you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So anytime I talk to someone and address someone, I'm always very professional and polite. In some cases, people look at it as a weakness, and then, like, for example, doing security. When you tell, hey, boss man, excuse me, back up a little bit, you can't stand right here, whatever the case is. Being that I try to be over polite or very professional, and then some people take it as a weakness, think they can try you, and then you have to do something different. But going back to being a leader, when I talk to my people, I talk to them and I ask them, hey, do me a favor. When you get done with that, do you mind going over there, picking up those two, put them here, and then come back over here? I need you to grab these. All right, thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Versus, I've seen some people, and I know it's their business and they're in charge. Like, hey, go over there and pick up those two over there, and when you get done, come over here and grab these, and then they'll walk off. Like, some people can handle being talked to like that, and for some people that works. But for me, I've never been like that. Yeah. Anybody I address, no matter what their age, I say yes sir, yes ma'am. So sometimes the kids at the gym are like, why you say yes, sir? I'm only 5, I'm like, I'm saying yes, sir to you, so you know to say yes, sir to me, and you know to say the yes, sir to someone else that you meet. So no matter who I deal with, I'm always super respectful, but at the same time, you still have to draw a line of respect, and I respect the janitor like I respect the billionaire, and I would expect either one of those guys to respect me the same way. So at the end of the day, it all comes to respect, and some people don't realize that they're not communicating good to people. They think, well, I'm the boss, and I do need him to pick those two things. I know, but it's how you say it. So when I was, I learned that. I give credit to one of my managers, Steve Parnell at Food Line. He taught me that. I was saying something to somebody, and I answered the question. I said, yeah, it's over there. And he said, but I heard when he was addressing people, yes, sir, it's right over there. And he said, you got to make sure whenever you do such and such, make sure you make people feel good when you. And I'm like, and at the time I was like, but I'm the boss, and he needs to do it. What difference it make? But then. As I thought about it, I'm like, okay, Jerome, you don't have to be so robotic. You can be a people person, still let people know what they need to get done, and not stress people out about it, and then make them feel good about it. So, and then when somebody does have an issue, they feel good coming to talk to you because now you feel like they can relate with you. You know what I mean?
Definitely, man. That's a jewel you just gave, man. And even listening to you talk, I'm going to be conscious of that. Moving on. So again, like you said, all the accolades, voted #1 4 years in a row, biggest gym. Around these parts. What kind of marketing promotion did you do? Did you think it was an organic growth, or you had a strategy? Let's talk about that.
So I would definitely say, when it comes to social media now, I know a lot of people use Instagram and TikTok, but for me over the past years, it's definitely been Facebook. I'll go home and I will post like crazy. I'll post. Sometimes I'll be backed up on posts, and I'm posting things that people think it happened that day. It might have happened a month ago, but I'm just getting around to posting it. So I've gotten hundreds of messages through Facebook of people interested, want to train, want to get training for their kids, want to get training for their family. So between my flyers right here, you just designed some dope flyers for me too. I got to get those printed out. Between flyers, between social media, my website, business cards, every time I go out having my company shirt on and just talking to people, it just grew like wildfire. Every time I go somewhere, they're like, "Oh, aren't you the guy that does the fighting thing or whatever?" So, I mean, it's been working for me. So we're just gonna keep rolling. I've had some companies reach out to me and they want me to spend $1,000 to $1,500 a month for marketing and promotion. But I believe if you're advertising the way you're supposed to, it's okay to spend some marketing dollars, but I'm not gonna pay what I would pay in rent for you to market me when I can market myself.
Exactly, man. Another jewel. This guy's dropping jewels for small business owners.
Yes, sir.
He's still moving around with stickers. Got his shirt on everywhere he go. Yep. So I got my brand on. It's very important, you guys.
Yep.
Flyers. People call it old school, outdated, but he's promoting on social media, and he has physical marketing materials. Yep. Matter of fact, what's going on with your DVD here?
So right here, what I did was I actually put together a with my experience when it comes to firearm safety and self-defense and martial arts training. I put together, and actually, I don't know if you remember, I actually took that picture for me and you. So we took you out of there.
How you gonna crop me out, man?
I cropped you out, and the reason I cropped him out because he had a liquor bottle in his hand. So I was doing security. I
remember that, bro.
Cooler Fest.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So we was on the stage, we were doing security, and I'm like, Bezo, let's get this picture. And so I looked at the picture. I'm like, yeah, the picture came good, but who's the drunk guy? So I took him out, and I actually listed what people will learn on the DVD. It's a 45-minute DVD where I go over different things of firearm safety, how to handle a firearm, what to do if somebody throws a punch at you, goes to choke you, fighting on the ground, fighting standing up, things like that.
Okay, so where can they purchase this from?
They can purchase this on my website, imtmar.com. You can actually purchase a physical DVD. If you want to reach out to me and just get the link, I don't have the link set up yet to where it'll automatically email to you. I need to do that. But right now, if somebody wants to order it, they can contact me, and I'll send them the file, and they just hit my Cash App. So.
Yeah, man, you definitely gonna get that link ready, man.
Yeah, man.
Digital products.
Yeah. I know, man. I need to get with you on that.
It's the way.
I know. Yep.
Yeah. So
a lot of people don't even have DVD players no more. So
yeah, I mean, just like anything else, it's a market for everything, but digital, this right here.
Yep. Yep. And it's 45 minutes, so I got a lot of good. I got information on there for kids, what to do if somebody tries to kidnap your kid, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, that definitely could sell, man. So we're gonna talk about that, man.
Yep.
I asked you what you did for marketing promotion, all the accolades, all the hard work you put in. I'm the founder of Retail Therapy, the Small Business Network. Mm-hmm. We host vendor events, pop-up shops, workshops for small businesses. And we got a lot of startups, people that's just starting out. We got a couple of businesses like you that come through. It's well-established business that still come out and support the brand. Yep. Why do you think it's important for people to vend? Period, even if you are an established brand,
for people to make those events.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You never want to take for granted. Like I tell people this example all the time. Right now, I'm definitely blessed and fortunate. When COVID happened, we shut down for 2 months. Out of 100 and something clients, I probably had 10 to 15 people contact me, told me to stop their monthly draft. The rest of them said, no, we want to support you. We want to keep it going. So for me, that was a blessing because if everybody stopped their draft, there's no money coming in. Right. So the money was still coming in, even though we were closed. Having that awareness to work with, to have your business and always be able to put it out there, network with other businesses is important, because if that person, let's say for example, I didn't do as much in the community and my clients didn't feel as secure in my product and my brand, and they stopped paying their monthly membership, I might not be in business anymore. So if I'm always putting my brand out there over and over, your events, anyone's events out there, promoting. A lot of times I'll get a phone call. Hey, we need some dads to come read books to the kids. Hey, I'm gonna be there. We need some help feeding the homeless at the park. I'm gonna throw my shirt on. I'm gonna be there. I always want to keep on the forefront so people know I'm in the community. I'm not going anywhere. And once people feel confident in your brand, then they'll be more inclined to do business with you and refer to other people. So it all one hand wash another.
Man, I love it, and that tied right into where I was going next.
Yep.
You do a lot of things in the community. From, like I said, volunteer work, feeding the homeless. Talk about, some of the, many things that you do in the community, and, kind of go back over why it's important.
Gotcha. So for me, I'm not too familiar with all the organizations out there that need donations and charities, but a couple that I definitely partnered up with that is a passion for me is like the YWCA. Once I realized that those ladies, I actually did several self-defense classes for them. once I realized those ladies are victims of domestic violence and they need someone to help protect them and show them how to be safe, I every year I'll just cut them a check, mail it to them. I don't brag about it. I don't post the amount or nothing like that. I just send them some money. On top of that, I get with the coordinator and say, hey, if I need to put together a class and teach these ladies, just let me know, free of charge. They can come in. We don't advertise or post it because a lot of times those ladies don't want other people to know they're part of that program. We'll train them, send them on their way. Back before they built that park across from Burger King on Calhoun, a lot of homeless people would be there. Me and my friends, homeboy George Durbin, I hit him up one time. I said, George, once every week or every other week, I'll go to Burger King, take $40-$50, buy a bunch of burgers, go across the street to park. And he said, when do you do that? I said, next time I'm going is tomorrow. So he jumped right on board. You know, he came by. He gave me $50. I did $50. We $100. Get as many burgers as we could buy. Go across the park. You know, feed them. Just stuff just to help people. I know as a small business, you got to watch your bottom line, and you can't just spend money all over the place. But at the same time, when I see it's something that I can do to help someone when it comes to especially safety and security, or someone outside in the cold, someone's hot and they're just hungry, kids out there. Hey, anything I can do to help them or be a part of it, I'm there. You know.
That's beautiful, man. And like I said, very important for a business to just do that, man. Do it from the heart. You know, people call it public relations, whatever you want to call it. It's good to, you know, still give back to your community and be a recognized brand in the community, doing things that's helping the community and sewing back into the community. So, in closing, man, let's talk about this first class free here, man. What's that about?
So, what happens is a lot of times when people come in, they'll give us a call. They say, hey, I've always wanted to do martial arts, or I'm thinking about doing martial arts, but they're quick to let me know they have no experience. They don't want to get punched in the face on day one. They don't want to get choked out.
When I finally come, that's what I'm gonna be saying.
And I tell them, I say, look, I can completely understand where you're coming from. I said, it's fine that you feel that way. It's our job to train you and make you feel comfortable. And we've created an actual culture at the gym to where it's a family. Because sometimes what happens, you go into a new gym, whatever type of gym it is, you have cliques, and they're looking at who's the new guy, who's the new girl. You know what I'm saying? And make the person feel like an outcast. We're the total opposite. Not saying all gyms do that, but a lot of gyms do that. We try to bring people in and embrace them. And, hey, the first class is free. You don't have to come in and spend any money. It's not a catch where you got to pay this, and if you like it, to get your money back. You don't pay anything. Try the class out for you. Try it out for your kids. If we have multiple classes on that day, you can try out 2-3 classes on the same day. If you like it, great. If you don't, you know, no problem. So we want to have that trial out there so they'll see what they're getting into without spending any money first.
Okay, so where could they sign up if they want to just walk in, or you need to call, or?
They don't have to call. We actually get new people that just walk in all the time and they'll sign up. I've had some people, they'll go out, they'll do their research. Okay. They'll check out my website, they'll go to my Facebook, my Instagram. They said, man, they'll walk in and they'll say my name like they know me. Jerome, what's up? I said, what's going on, man? I'm ready to sign up.
Right.
Oh, you here for the first class? Nope. I did my research. Y'all the real deal. I'm ready.
Hey,
so
that's
if they want to,
proof,
if they want to do that, hey, we'll gladly take the money.
Hey, that's social proof.
We'll do it.
Because, you know, when people are looking to invest in a brand, one of the things they go through is it's called a investigating stage.
Correct.
And if you can pass that stage, 9 times out of 10, they're going to spend some money with you.
Exactly.
And they're going to invest with you. So, man, great job on that. We appreciate you for coming through the pod, being able to chop it up, talk about business, your history, all that good stuff, man. Like I said, a staple in the community, doing great things for everybody. Where can people find you on social media and any other, lasting information you want to talk about?
Yes, sir. Social media on Facebook, Instagram, Team Robinson MMA, my website, IamTeamR.com. Phone number 803-236-0803. If I don't pick up, text me and I'll hit you back.
For sure, man. Thank you for coming out, man. I appreciate you.
Anytime, brother.
Yes,
sir.
Out.